I think I'm up now. So I think I'm going to make this a habit of just always having the stream to the side so that I can see what's going on. Cause that really hurts. Like the fact that I'd gone far and nobody was seeing anything was just insane. I didn't know. I didn't know any of
That
that.
really hurt. Like the fact that I've gone far and
Okay, so we're going to have to just move on from that. And yeah, I just want to quickly make sure. I want to make sure that I'm up. All right, I'm up. I'm going to start this all over again. Um, I'm going to take this, maybe move it into a dump. I'm going to move into a dump collection. Turn that off. And yeah, we go again. It's part of the gig, it's part of the game, and it happens. I'm going to rotate this by 90 and I'm going to move this around here, right? And GZ. So I can scale this up a little bit, and all of these parts right here, I can just start scaling one by one after the other, basically. So this will be scaled, this also scaled to fit the shape, this like so. I think this part also scaled up, and then this vertex here is going to be deleted, basically. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger than the reference, right? And the reason I'm doing that is that I want to be able to have the shape still intact when I add in a one level subdivision, right? See what I just did there? I added one level and it's smoothened out on the shape itself. So that is what I want. I can take this and extrude on the X axis, scale this down. As a matter of fact, maybe not that far. Scale this down, EX, scale this down, but GZ, I can EX, scale this down, and GZ, I can EX. Someone said a modeling podcast. Oh my god. A modeling podcast is crazy. Like, sheesh. Who is that? Like, oh my god. I've deleted the video from my channel now, but I'd like to kind of know who that was. That's called what I was doing a modeling podcast, because that's a brilliant thing to see. Makes a lot of sense, like, and it's very witty. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah. So I think next up, I'm just going to be tracing this shape. Right here, the part that gave me a little bit of a headache when I was modeling the first time was the handle right here. So in order to no, I'll first of all look at it from the front view. Make sure I'm all good from the front view. I think so. It's a little bit there. Maybe this should come up a little bit. Yeah, that's it. So from under here, I need to select these vertices. 1, 2. I'm going to add in a loop right here, a loop right here, and this is going to go all the way to this point. I don't know if this loop is important. I don't know if that loop is important. So this place right down to this place, I'm going to insert and convert into a circle, basically. So I'm going to try to get that angle right and then scale it like so. Oh, okay, that's wrong. Oh. That is very wrong. This is what I'm trying to get here. Um, yeah. So I'm going to looking at this loop, and I think this is going to be problematic if I don't move it to somewhere here. So on the side view, I'm trying to get this faces down here. So I'm going to insert this a little bit to this extent and then turn this into a circle. I'm going to reset this to around here. And then before I extrude on the Z, I need to make sure easy. I need to make sure that that width, the size on that is just okay from both the front view and the side view. SZ0. So I can extrude on the Z, and on the side too, I have to make sure it's relatively okay. For example, this is not okay, so I can SY, bring this down, and on this side, it looks like it's okay. So I'm just going to take this SZ0, and I think I'll first of all remove all the faces. Then right here, I can G scale this down, and I just want to basically get the shape of the handle. So I have that. I can extrude right here, maybe rotate a little bit and scale, extrude, scale, extrude, scale down a little, extrude, scale down, extrude. I can scale this down also. So all of this I can just move to the corners of this point right here. So that's cool. I want to go to the side because this side is also important. Make sure it's right on the money, or in this case, right on the model, like a shrink wrap basically. So we're just trying to trace out the shape, SY, SY, SY. And then this, I can just GZ, bring that down, GZ, bring that down, GZ. So that's cool. I like this. I can shade smooth this, and let's see how it performs on the sub D. I think, no, it's not, this part is not good. So I'm going to bring this out. This part too. Probably want to do that with proportional editing. I think this part too. Bring that out with proportional editing. Oh, I thought I already adjusted this. G. G. All right. So we have a shape that I'm okay with. I think on the side, we already have this same captured, right? If you see me look to the side, I'm just trying to make sure that the stream is going as planned. So I have it playing on my phone. Let me show you guys. I have the stream up on my phone. So I'm just trying to make sure everything is going as planned. So yeah. Right here, I would GG. And what I'm trying to do in this case is get this shape like so. I think that's good. GG. Again to GG this. Same with this. Same with this. So what it's looking like right now is I probably need one more seam on this side. So I'm going to add, oh man, I'm going to add that one, then maybe another. Let's just go. Let's go. I don't think about that too much right now. Just going to go with the flow. So right here, You see this loop? I'm going to take this out. And then this, I'm going to GG to trace out the shape. Right? Just like so. So I'm going to continue that tracing with this one, basically. GG. So we're going to have one part that has like a try. I really hope it's not going to be a problem. Then I can use a knife tool to just cut across like so. This part looks flat. Like right here, looks really flat. So I'm going to take this all the way down to this point. And I'm going to Alt S. Okay. Alt S. But I'm going to continue without that seam first. Let me just see what it looks like. Right here, there's going to be a shake of hand between these two vertices. And then I think this one continues all the way like so. While we remove this edge, and then this, I think this should go like this actually. Or let me leave this like this first and see. I want to see if I add the seam right here and extrude along normal, if that triangle is going to affect it. I don't think so. So I think we're good on that. Right here, I would also have to include this. This is one of those lines that needs to be a seam. So I'm going to bevel this, right? A very tiny bevel. I'm going to extrude in, right? And then these lines, I'm going to add in a bevel. Just like so. Oh, okay. See, our triangle is coming to haunt us. Triangle is being problematic. So let's do that again. I think. Oh, this part was included. So let's bevel again. I'm going to turn off that sub D and just make sure I'm seeing this properly. Okay, that's good. And then bevel. So I'm going to turn on that sub D, see what it looks like. Sub D is looking good, except you see this part. This is too flat. This part is too flat. So I'm going to undo all of that seam creation, like undo all the way to this point. And then you see this loop, I want to make sure it connects for real, so that when I turn off my sub D, I could select this entire line and just use Alt S to fatten that up. So Alt S, I'm going to bring that up a little bit. So if I add in a sub D, the shape is wonky, but am I fine with that? I don't think so. So maybe I want to include this also in the fattening process. So I'm going to increase that, add in sub D. Looks good. So let's just go through. As a matter of fact, this, okay, no worries. Let's continue. Right here, we're going to tiny bevel. I'm going to extrude along the mouse. I'm going to be using hard ups to mirror this to the other side, so I don't need to worry about what's going on here. I think all I need to worry about now is turning off the sub D and making sure that I'm selecting all the loops, just like so. Right? I'm going to bevel this. That's cool. I'll turn off my sub D again, and it's working the way I want it to. Only that I feel like there are some faces here that is just causing a problem. So I'm going to select these vertices around here and delete faces. Let's see if it doesn't flow. So I need to figure out what's causing this issue here. Turn off sub D, turn off mirror. I'm going to frame selected. Right? Yeah, these are the faces that I think are the culprits of this thing. So all of these faces are going out. Eh? Right? So if I turn on my mirror, it flows better. I can turn on sub D. And there's something going on here. What's this? Can I delete this face? This is strange. Like, why is this line here? That was a strange one. But like, let's go on. I think right around here, I want to select this seam and bevel it. And I'm going to do the same thing that I've done with other. I think this bevel is too thick. I'm going to extrude along normal, select these two loops and just bevel that to make it tight. Whoa. Okay. So next up, I'm going to create this right here. So we're going to use some existing loops and maybe add in a few new loops like this. So that's good. So this loop, and this loops are going to be selected, and this included. So I think all of this actually, I'm going to separate into a new mesh. Yep, I'm going to separate into a new mesh. Then all of this are going to be eliminated from the bunch. And then we have this. But before I do all of that, I need to copy my original image. Maybe I can copy this Undo. We're going to go to the original image without all of this loop and copy that, and I can go all the way to this part and then paste our original image. So what I'm going to do with the original image now is isolate both, right? And then I'm going to just need these parts. These parts. Every other thing can delete vertices and all of that. Right, so we're good on this. I think next up, I'm just going to look for even distribution of faces. So face here, face here. I'm going to apply this sub D, see amount of faces that we have. I don't think that all those faces are proportional actually. So I'm going to undo all of that. Do I need to space like so? No, I don't need to. But I need squares though. What if I subdivide on that? No. What if I apply and then subdivide? Would that work? I think it would. So all of these faces here are going to be out. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to select this and then grow that selection. Repeat all the way to this point, and then I would I'll do check out the select. So I can insert, right? I could subdivide, maybe subdivide again, scale that, turn this into a circle. Come on. And then that circle is going to be scaled down. And faces are going to be deleted. So we're going to have this kind of mesh in that. And all of this, I'm going to apply a solidify modifier to this. So it has depth, inward. That's cool. So I can bring back all the remaining mesh. So this, I feel, should be smaller inside, right? And then this part, we're cool on that. But I think this part too should have a solidify modifier. So I'm going to add one. That's cool. The next shape that I'm going to try to achieve, I feel like this edge should be out. Let me see. Yeah, that's good. I don't see any problem there. So I think I have the original shape copied. So I'm just going to paste that in, and we're going to do what I feel like might be the most difficult part. And that is this shape right here. So I'm going to use a knife tool to cut out this shape like so, all the way to this point. I can put this around here, put this around here. Create the shape, apply that. I'm going to frame this selection, and I think we are good with these faces. So I'm going to, nope, I'm going to select these faces like so, and I'm going to invert that selection. So all of these faces are going to be deleted. Then I'm going to take all this point and merge at last right here. So right here, I'm going to select these 4 points and just space it. These 4 points, I'm also going to space them because I want to be able to join this and then take out all these string vertices or edges rather. I feel like I'm getting tired already. And then take out the string edges. I think these two can be taken out. This also maybe taken out. Then we have this shape. I'm going to take out the no. I think I can leave the mirror to work. So we have the shape. So it's going to be like an attachment on top basically. So if you look at this, you would see that somewhere around here, we also have like another selection. So we're going to have something like this that goes all the way to the front. Right? So all of this selection, I'm going to relax. Right? Can I relax? I do not know. You know what? I'm just going to go with the flow. So we have this selection. Maybe if I join, I don't think I need to join. Let's just make these selections and then I can EX, then SX0, and then GX inward like so. I feel like this needs a shear effect, so I'm going to bring in shear and we're going to have something like this, but these faces are going to be cleared out. So all of this, I'm going to ES and then EX. All right, that's cool. Shade auto smooth. I think there's some problems with the shading, and that's because of things like this. So I'm just going to connect this. Connect this. For example, these two should be connected and then this connected. So subdivision back in, and I feel like this also should have a solidify modifier, but let me see how it works. Solidified modifier doesn't work as well as I would want it to, but maybe all of this is playing a part in why it's not working. So I'm going to take this inner part, grow that selection more, and then delete those faces. For example, this, I'm going to grow that selection and delete those vertices. So now we have this. What if I add in a solidify to this? Let's see. Yep, works better. But something going on here. Something wrong. There's something wrong. Can I just undo? I don't think I need that solidify again. Yeah, I'm good here. So I can call back all the other mesh And then this, how does this attach? That's another thing to think about. How does it attach to the main body? I don't think it does. Looking at this, it doesn't particularly attach. So I don't think I need to make mine attach. So all of this I can GX outward, and then I can extrude the edges like so. Right? And then this part, maybe it needs a bevel like so. Yep, I'm not mad at that at all, like at all. So we need to work on buttons. Right here, think what I can do is GG. We're just going to try to get as close as possible to the shape. Insert, subdivide, turn into a circle, but the circle is discombobulated. So maybe I can bring in a circle of my own, but this time, I'm going to bring a six-sided circle. Circle, turn to view, and then 6 vertices circle. GZ, scale down, GZ, scale down. So that's cool. Right here, I can SY, GY. I can scale this like so. And you see the space on the main mesh? I'm just going to delete these faces. So since we have this circle, I can GX, bring it into space, and what else can I do? Can join bolts, then maybe start merging at last. I don't think there's any need to merge at last, actually. You know what I can do? I can GY, undo all the way back to when the face was there. Right? This would be filled, and then I'll do a shrink wrap on this. Where's shrink wrap? I'll do a shrink wrap on this. I'm going to add in a shrink and then select this. I'm going to do projects. So I'm just going to GX, bring it close to the surface, and we have it. I want to do above surface. I'm going to apply that sub D. But applying the sub D actually, I'm going to apply sub D first, then apply shrink wrap. So I can GY, bring this out, and then select this face, delete the faces, and then I'm going to have to start joining some of this. But you see this edge, we won't be needing it. So this I can merge at last. Yep. Why are these not merging? Okay, because I've not joined them into one mesh. So I can L select this GX to bring out that button, and then I'm going to merge at last. Merge at last. At last. At last, I'm going to take out this entire edge. Merge at last. Merge at last. So all of this, I don't think I've done anything different right here. Can I insert? And then this edge, I can extrude in and then extrude again. So I think the mirror modifier is messing things up. So I'm just going to select this face and then have a different bevel on that. Okay. Select boundary loops, bevel. That's cool. I think I'm going to separate this into a different mesh. So select more on that and then P to separate the selection. So we have these faces selected. Then we'll go to select boundary loops and then bevel. So I can turn up sub D on that. Shade auto smooth. I think same will apply to this. That's cool. But the shape is weird. I won't even lie, the shape is weird. Feel the no one does nothing. Dissolve vertices. GX. No one else can feel it for ya. And you can't do it, Lily. No one else can feel the weight on your lip. I'm going to do this button too. I think right here is good. Whoa. So I'm going to have to go back. There was a time that I changed the position on that mirror, and I think it affected something back there. So I want to go all the way back. Yep, somewhere around here. So I can delete that face, select this and EX, just like so. Shade, auto smooth, and I can bring in the button we just created, or I can steal the shape from here and create another button. Can I do grid fill and extrude outward? I wonder what's going on here. Could it be an end gone? Okay, I like this. Way better result actually. So I'm going to add one loop here, one loop here. Think I'm going to add one to this side. I hope it doesn't distort. It's distorting. So I'm going to add a loop right here, and I'm going to use my knife tool to cut out the shape, and then delete these faces. I do not think this sub is giving us enough support for the shape, but let me try and see. Okay, I think this is close, but it needs holdings around here. No, not close. Not close. Not even close. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that actually. So I can select this and EX, EX again, and EX. So I can fill that face and then separate that selection and extrude that outward like so. So we have that. Can turn off sub. No, sub they can still be on. But what I want to do is isolate this shape and add in support around the edge. Think it should be the same for this. Bevel, that's clean. And then in this shape, I can hmm, I'm going to delete all of this. And the reason I'm deleting it, I think I want to apply the mirror modifier I have on right now. And then I also want to apply my sub D. Right? So applying the sub D is going to help me with creating the inner button. I don't know why I wasn't able to create it with that one. Can I shift DX, separate that selection, select all of it. I'm going to take out this part. Fill. I'm going to take all of, I think, the inner edges, and I want to fill this now with grid fill. Should be a better way to do this, but I think with the way this stream is going, I don't mind the scrappy way. So I can grid fill, right? And then how can I reduce the height of this without messing up the proportions? Because I really love the way this looks right now. See? So all of this can GG. GX forward a little. So we'll have, and we're back with the shape. So with this, I can extrude inward. I can select this to this insert, create another insert here, and then extrude this into the shape. So with all of this selected, I can select boundary loops right here, select this edge, I can also select this edge and then this edge and then bevel. So I can add in a one level sub D, isolate all of that, select boundary, bevel that, isolate, and then I can bring this in. That was a long ass journey to just make a simple button. But it's cool. So yeah, we're good on this. I think the front has a little bit of event to it. Let's see. So we're looking at, let's see, ES. And EX all the way in. I can select this edge, Shift D, separate that selection, GX, ES. I can extrude this in, GX out. With this, I can maybe select this same one again, still from this mesh, and then scale this down. I can SX, frame selected, select this edge fill, select this edge and fill 2. So on this side, I am going to select this 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. I think 4 is around here. Nope. Okay. That's cool. With this, I can GX in, and then I could just have some lines running across with maybe another circle again. Fill that, but this time we're going to grid fill, right? um convert this into a curve, extrude, and add depth. Right. Okay. Oh, this button is, oh my god. Button appeared twice. That's crazy. Okay, looks like we're going to have just one on our own version of that button. So right here, I can maybe grid fill. But I would really like to bevel this part though. Okay, that's not bad. Delete face, scale, extrude, scale, extrude, G, GG, bevel, can select all of this, delete those faces. I think this face right here should be accounted for, and then we can fill. Same with this. And then we have to go through the same process for all of that. Fill. That's cool. Shade smooth. Can I add in a bevel to this without causing problem? Okay, that's cool. I'm just going to bring in a cube. Merge all vertices at center. G, and I can create this chord right here. Convert into a curve. Add sub D on that and just give it depth. So yeah, I think we're good with this pretty much. I'm going to change this to done and save for the what is this? The 37. the 37 hair dryer. So yeah, that's uh that's about it, guys. I see that nobody's actually dropping any chats on the stream, but that's all good. I already saw like
Nobody's actually
a very
dropping
good
any
amount
chats.
of chats on the first stream that wasn't broadcasting anything that someone said was a modeling podcast. But it's cool. We're done with this. Thank you guys so much for being on. And yeah, that is about it, guys. So long, and until I see you guys in the next one.